That's right, you know, removing George W. Bush from the White House, that is actually a kind gesture on our part, because that isn't even the true justice that needs to be meted out for what he has done. The 900 dead from our country, the thousands dead in Iraq. What does George W. Bush say to the parents of those 900 dead? You know, last night I'm walking into the convention and I run into Bill O'Reilly. and you know, I invited him to the premiere of my movie. And I'm just that kind of Christian. And halfway through the movie, he gets up and tries to sneak out. And I caught him in the lobby. I said, Bill, where are you going? I got a taping I gotta go do. I said, it's 10 o'clock at night. What are you going to tape? Turn around and watch the rest of the film. Because I can't have you going on your show tomorrow night slamming something you haven't seen. You know? I mean, for once I want you to speak from a place of non-ignorance. You know? So he says to me, he says, when are you coming on my show? I said, as soon as you turn around and watch the rest of my movie. So, well, he didn't do that. So, they've been calling, I'm not going on there till he watches my movie. I'm not speaking to any more ignoramuses. So, anyway, so I run into him on the way into the convention last night, and he says, okay, I've seen the rest of your movie. So I gave him a little quiz. I asked him 3 questions about the second half of the movie. I wish I had a camera. It was like... No, he did not answer one of the questions correctly. But he said, I went with my wife, I saw it in Manhasset, he named the theater. He said, you can call my wife, she actually loved the movie. Now he's dragged his wife into it. He's made it personal. I'm not going to challenge him. I said, Bill, I'm just trying to trust but verify. I said, let's go do your show right now. Right now? Yeah, right now. It was like 6:30 last night. I already got people coming on. I said, well, let's go tape it right now. You got an hour before showtime. Let's go tape it. And but here are the ground rules. It has to be live to tape, no editing. No editing, you heard? You don't Jeremy Glick me, all right? You don't turn my microphone off or threaten to punch me. Because I might fall on you. That won't look pretty. And because you do control the microphone, and we're not really in a neutral setting, which is where we need to be for a true debate. You ask a question, I ask a question. I've never let anybody interview me on my own show. All right, I'll do it. So we taped it. It's on tonight. I'll let you know if he cut anything out. But it was great. It was.
What time is it on?
What time? You mean you don't know what time the enemy show is on? No wonder we lose all the time. You got to know where the enemy is at all times. 8 o'clock on Fox. I don't say Fox News because you know, I like to use the correct dictionary terms. But I asked him the question that I would like to ask George W. Bush. And tomorrow night, we're having the Crawford premiere of the movie. in Crawford, Texas. And George Bush was there on vacation. And I'd like to, if he shows up, the question I'd like to ask him is, would he be willing to sacrifice one of his daughters tonight to secure Fallujah? And that's what I asked Bill O'Reilly. May we take the life of your child tonight so that we could secure Fallujah? Would you do that, Bill? Because you see, I support a draft. I support a draft, and we need to bring back the draft. We need to have a draft that says anybody who makes over $150,000 a year, anybody who is a corporate executive, and anybody who works in the media, their children must go first. Their children must go first. Draft only them. The rich, the media, and the corporate executives all go first. And if I see them willing to give up their lives and the lives of their children, then maybe we might be in trouble. But he would not, Bill would not be willing to sacrifice his child to secure Fallujah. And as I said to the media in there, the mainstream media, not the Amy Goodman media. Amy is over here, by the way. I asked them, it was a humble plea for them to start doing their jobs. Because the thing I hear most from people coming out of my movie, honestly, is not that rat bastard George W. Bush. That's number 2. I assume it's number 2 because, you know, people don't like stating the obvious. But the thing that I hear the most from people coming out of my movie is, how come I didn't see that on the news? You know that scene? You know that where the eggs hit the limo during the inauguration parade? Or the black congressmen that were shut down? Or the amputees in the hospital? Or the soldiers in the field in Iraq who expressed their disillusionment with this war and their opposition to it, and stating that they will not go back to Iraq? Have you seen that on the nightly news? I haven't seen it. Why haven't I seen that? I mean, if I was able to gather that with just a few freelancers with meager resources, these networks are over there spending millions of dollars. Why haven't they told us the story? Why won't they leave the walls of the green zone? You know, why is that? Well, some of them, that's right, they work for these large media conglomerates. GE, good example. GE has $600 million of contracts in Iraq already to rebuild Iraq. 600 million, it'll be over $1 billion is what the prediction is what GE will get. And of course they own NBC. But what about the on-the-ground journalists? Some of them who are actually quite good people, good hearts. They have a conscience. What about them? And I've asked them that. And they'll never talk to me about this on camera, but off camera, in doing the interviews for this movie, they've told me. I did an interview with Matt Lauer, and as soon as he left the room, the crew goes and shuts the door. And they look, and they send another guy down the hall to make sure Matt's gone. Okay, he's gone. They come back. These are the camera guys, the sound guys, all the lighting guys, and they say to me, Mike, you're exactly right. In those early days before the war, when the war started, we were told they couldn't have this guest or that guest. You couldn't say these things. They got memos.